How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to the Gear Vault podcast. We are on episode 6 already. Somehow, time sure does seem to be flying. Today, I just want to do some current events, and I actually want to start with thanking you all for watching the range video on my YouTube channel for the 7mm Backcountry. It was a weird day, and some unfortunate things happened, and it is what it is, but that video kind of popped off. I appreciate all of the support. A lot of times we won't say it's a negative video, but there were some negative aspects of that video, and a lot of times when you put out a video like that, people get kind of catty in the comments, and that didn't happen. There was a couple of dudes that made comments that clearly hadn't actually watched the video. But other than that, man, it was a lot of good, helpful comments. People were actually trying to be helpful and give me some information as to why my Savage Trail Hunter Light in 7 Backcountry will not extract spent rounds to save its life. So, thank you for watching that video. I appreciate it. If you're listening to this podcast, it is also available via YouTube if you want to watch it. Of course, if you're watching on Spotify, you can watch it there too. But check it out on YouTube. There's some other cool content on the YouTube channel for those that are only listening right now. But got a few things I want to talk about this week. And first is going to be the whole Sig-situation, as people are calling it, with the Sig P320 and the military variant of that handgun. First of all, condolences to the military member that lost his life because of this whole thing. Seriously, that's insane. That's crazy. The whole story's crazy. But in looking at other videos for this situation and for just trying to learn, I guess, man, it looks like it's super possible that this is what happened, and super possible and honestly at this point probably likely that the Sig handgun did in fact go off on its own. Obviously this is not good for the gun community. What is the saying has been from the anti-gunners all along is guns kill people, and then the rebuttal has been that guns don't kill people, people kill people. This is not going to help that argument whatsoever, because it would appear that these guns are actually unaliving people, which is obviously not ideal. If you are, I'm guessing there's probably some people that are either listening to this or watching this that maybe don't know. I think most do, but maybe they don't. But let me just go with how I kind of learned that what had happened. And actually, let me back up even farther than that. So for the last, honestly, years, there was videos when the 320 came out about it failing drop tests. I remember that. I don't know if it's since been covered up, but I remember there were gun tubers that were having, issues on getting that pistol to pass a drop test. Fast forward in the last few months, there's been a lot of guys on YouTube and the internet talking about these P320s just going off on their own per se, and Sig has pretty much said, nope, not possible. This gun cannot go off unless the trigger is pulled fully. Well, it was, let's see, what day was that? I don't know, it's been a few days ago now, but Sig posted on their Instagram page, and I'm just going to read to you. It was a picture of words, so not the actual description. This is what the picture said. Our hearts are with the service members and families impacted by the recent reported event, at the F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We proactively offered assistance to the U.S. military as they investigate the incident and remain willing to help in furtherance of their ongoing inquiry. We have absolute confidence in the military's ability to conduct a thorough investigation and are working with the Air Force and Army to answer any of their questions. And I was like, what the frick happened? And you can't go to the comment section because Sig turned the comments off, which, I mean, one, for a company like that to even say something about it, you're already admitting a little guilt. To turn the comments off, you're admitting a little bit more guilt. So what do? You go to the very next post that they have or the very previous post. That's where all the comments are. And of course, that's what I found was 100 people saying, hey, why'd you turn the comments off? You know, pansies. But in any case, I'm going to read this one. This was basically a comment that the guy had posted. It was clearly a news report. F.E. Warren Air Force Base, Wyoming, an active duty airman assigned to the 90th Security Forces Squadron, 90th Missile Wing, died on base while on duty in the early morning, July 20th, 2025. The incident is currently under investigation by Air Force Office of Special Investigations and appropriate base authorities. The incident is isolated and there is no threat to the base or community. No further details are being released at this time to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation. And then it goes on to say, a security forces desk sergeant took off his Safariland holster with the M18 pistol still inside by unlocking the QLS fork and placing it on the table. The pistol went off while still in the holster, hitting the sergeant in the chest and killing him. After the incident, the commanding general of the Air Force Global Strike Command ordered a pause on all use of M18 pistols. The investigation is still ongoing. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good. It's one thing when it's Joe Schmo from the holler. When it's a military dude using your contracted weapon, that's not good. That's not good for business. Not going to be good for business. And furthermore, and let me just wrap this whole SIG part up with this. Yesterday, I was watching a video. Oh, man, what was the dude's name? Wyoming Gun Project on YouTube. If this video is still up, I would suggest going and watching it. It is called Sig P320 Uncommanded Discharge, and it's repeatable. And it is. I mean, it's not clickbait. It's a long video, but I can save you 38 minutes of your time. Skip to the last 2 minutes or don't. Just take my word for it. Basically, what this dude has done, he's taken a Sig P320 and he's inserted a device that essentially presses the trigger in, he claims, less than 1 millimeter. And if you're actually looking at it, I mean, it's barely touching anything. Essentially would be replicating like someone's finger kind of laying on the side of the trigger. It would also be like a lot of holsters, the retention comes from clipping over the front of the trigger guard. And I can certainly see in that scenario where that trigger might have a little bit of pressure on it. And basically once he does that, he's able to manipulate the slide. I mean, in some cases, very, very minorly, just kind of shake or rattle or twist on that slide, and the gun is firing. I don't remember how many times it happens in the video. I want to say it was at least 5 or 6, but it was like 5 or 6 times in a row. Every single time, if that trigger was just barely touched and that slide got manipulated very much at all, the gun was going off. So clearly an issue for SIG. And I guess the last thing I want to say on that is if you are listening or watching this video or this show, please don't go sell your P320. If you got a 365 that you want to sell because you don't like how SIG has done people, go for it. Hasn't been any reported issues with the 365. But if you've got a 320, don't go sell it because the person buying it might not know this is going on. This is one of those situations where you're just going to have to be okay with potentially losing out on whatever money you have in this gun. You can't, in good conscience, send this thing down the road because the next dude that has it might not treat every gun as if it's a Sig P320. And I want to give a little credit to Logan at High Caliber History. He posted that on his story. Treat every gun as if it was a Sig P320. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty good, because that's even more caution than normal, because you never know when those things are going to go off. All right. Topic number 2. What do we got? Basically, through the week, I was just screenshotting stuff that like caught my attention. Here's a good one. The host of the TV show, the hunting show, The Game, the host, Matt Jennings, admits to illegal deer hunting in Kansas. Basically 5 years probation, and I don't know, he's not allowed to hunt in Kansas anymore. Maybe that part of it I'm not really worried about. It's kind of the bigger picture of this whole like influencer and people letting fame get to your heads, especially in the hunting community. Man, it seems like it happens all the time, and it's happening more and more. And honestly, I bet it happens a lot more than people realize, and it just not got caught yet. I mean, what was that? I can't remember that last dude that shot the deer, and bigger one ran out and shot that one, and the cameraman kept the footage, and I don't know, it was crazy. And then some crazy stuff with the Bomars, and it's just like these people, they get into this situation where they just want they want to do more, right? Like they just want to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and because of that, they end up, you know, getting careless and doing whatever it takes to get that deer or to kill that bigger buck. Oftentimes doing something illegal, and it's a shame, and people need to stop that. I do feel like it's a growing problem, all jokes aside. And I think it's our fault for feeding into it and putting so much, putting these people up on a pedestal. You know, like you go to these hunting shows and stuff, and people are huddled around the hunting public, or huddled around what's the dude that hunts in Atlanta? Seek One, you know, the dude that hunts in the cities. It's like, these are all cool people. You know, they do great things. You know, they're good hunters. They put out good content, but you can't treat them like a celebrity, because that crap apparently goes to their heads. And yeah, that's what happened to this dude apparently. And thankfully he got caught, and he's getting he's facing the consequences. Looks like basically all the people that he was working with, all the companies that had sponsored him, I think Bear and all of the Bear brands were part of it, and they're like, hey, we're not going to be associated with this dude anymore. So good on them. Let's see. So before we finish everything up here, I just kind of want to bounce back to the 7mm backcountry, and kind of where we are with that scenario. And I just got a warning that my camera battery is pretty low. So if that camera dies, we're going to finish this video out without video, I guess. So we'll go audio only if we have to. But just want to say, basically where I'm at in the situation is, excuse me. So I reached out to Savage and got a hold of somebody actually on their Instagram page, and they're like, hey, send this to such and such email. I did, never actually got anything back. I ended up getting a response back from their generic customer service email, I guess. And basically how that went down was, I told them what was happening with the rifle and how it wasn't extracting very well on at least half of the rounds. And they said, they being Caitlin at Savage Arms, said, give me your address, I'll send you some parts. And my response was like, what parts are you going to send, you know? Because I'm thinking, okay, well, there's an issue with this rifle and they know about it. She's like, extractor parts. And I'm like, I don't feel like there's an issue with the extractor. I mean, the thing's holding on pretty darn well to me. You know, I think the extractor is freaking a champ. I'm like, I think there's something else going on with it. And she goes, oh, okay, well, we can send you the extractor parts, and you can try to put them in, or you can take it to a gunsmith, let them put it in. Or if you want, you can send the gun back to us. And long story short, I think that's where we're at. I'm going to have to send it back to Savage on my dime, by the way, which, it's annoying whenever there's an actual issue, or at least you have super good reason to believe that. It's annoying to have to pay for that. Like if it was Amazon, they'd send you a label and you'd ship it to them for free, I guess. But the other side of that is, I guess a lot of people are probably being like, hey, this thing doesn't shoot very good. There's clearly an issue with it, and wanting to send rifles back all the time simply because they're using the wrong ammo or they can't shoot that well. So I get Savage's side there of like not wanting to pay to get it there, to them. And then assuming there's an issue, then they pay to get it back to you. So whatever, that looks like that's where we're at, is just getting it to them. Honestly, though, I was pretty, I guess you'd say, shocked or surprised by the comment section in that video. I was asking people to let me know in the comment section, and I meant it. If you all know of what could be causing this, or if you see something that I don't, please let me know, because I don't want to be doing something dangerous or whatever. And the comment section was super polarized. I mean, you got half of the people are saying that it's definitely Savage, like Savage sucks, Savage is cheap, you probably need the chamber polished and this and that. And then literally half of the comments are saying that it's the federal ammunition and the steel case. And it's like, there's not definitely not a unanimous decision on what the cause is for my tough extraction. So a lot of people are saying I should contact federal too and let them know of what's going on. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow on Monday, recording this on a Sunday night. So maybe I'll do that. I'll reach out to federal and tell them what's going on, and maybe they'll want to have me send some of the ammunition back into them. I don't know. There was a lot of I guess good arguments for both sides in the comment section. So if you haven't watched the video, I would highly recommend doing that. I think the video was called "Ultra Fast Piece of Junk" or something like that, which honestly wasn't even that clickbaity. I mean, currently it is a piece of junk because it's basically a single shot bolt action. And also, yeah, it's pretty freaking fast. That's the good thing about this, I guess. I mean, the speeds coming out of a 16.5-inch barrel were in the mid 29s with 170 grain bullets. That's pretty freaking impressive. So it is fast. It is currently a piece of junk, so it's not clickbait. So you can't get me on that. But yeah, go watch that video. I think that a lot of people would find that interesting because those spent rounds were impressively hard to eject and extract. So yeah, ultra fast piece of junk is what it was called. Check that out. Let me know what you think. If y'all see something that the other, whatever, at this point, 20,000 people have not been able to come into an agreement on the cause, throw your hat in the ring. Let me know what you think. That'll probably do it for this one. Just wanted to kind of give a quick update to the listeners and just talk about a couple of current events, because the whole SIG thing, it's been a long time coming. Unfortunately, it took a super sad situation for it to get the attention that it needs, especially from SIG themselves. So that part sucks, but at least now hopefully they can get this thing figured out, get it fixed before anyone else gets hurt or worse. I appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all watching, the ones that are watching. I definitely got to get, I'm running off of Wi-Fi here in the garage, and it's pretty garbagey. Like, my internet's good. Wi-Fi signal's trash, so I need to get a Ethernet port out here because I know I've got some lag, and I know that the audio probably doesn't match the video, and that is the most annoying thing in the world. I can't stand that. My wife will watch these horror movies, and they're not even a B movie, they're a C or D movie, and she's like, "Oh, that looks awesome." I'm like, "Dude, their mouths are off. I can't watch this." So, I can't watch it. How am I supposed to expect anyone else to watch it? So I do apologize. I am going to be working on that. This podcast thing is a work in progress. If you could see the behind the scenes, kind of looks like a mess, a little bit of a rat's nest of wiring and cables, but I'll get it figured out. The main thing is that we're talking about some some good stuff here. We're learning along the way. Appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all watching. Join us for episode 7. Don't even know what the topic's going to be, but I do have some pretty interesting guests that are willing to come on the show and talk, and I'm looking forward to that. So stick with us on the podcast side of things. Follow along on Instagram at the Gear Vault Podcast. Follow on Instagram at the Gear Vault. Also, YouTube at the Gear Vault. Follow along all the places. I appreciate it. Thanks again, y'all. We will see you in the next one. See you.